Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Welcome to a showcase of Pathfinder related accessories. Everything I'm going to be showing you here today was sent to me by Paizo for the purposes of doing review videos on. So I just want to make it clear that, these were sent to me, but Paizo is not influencing the video. They're not scripting it. They're not pre-screening it before it goes out. So the opinions that I expressed in this video are 100% completely and totally my own. Now also in this video I'm taking a slightly different format than I normally do. Typically I will do videos for each of these accessories more or less on their own, but I've kind of done several similar products already, and instead of being super redundant with everything, I thought I would just make a video showing several things and spend a little less time with each. If you want to see more comprehensive look-throughs of some of the things I'm going to be showing here, let me know, and I can certainly do that as a separate video where that's the focus and the review is just sort of taken care of in this video. Now the first thing that I want to show is actually a Pathfinder Flip Mat. Now, I'm not going to be taking the map out and unfolding it just because I don't really have the table space in order to do it, but I will still be able to show you everything that's on here. This is the Pathfinder Flip Mat Bigger Island. So they had like an island pack, and this is sort of like the bigger island. The difference is obviously in the size. So this is a 27-inch by a 39-inch flip mat. I think normally it's like 24 by 30 something. I can't remember the exact dimensions, but this is a larger map. As you can actually see here, there is an extra section that's sort of folded over. So the retail price for this is $19.99 US, and on the back it reads, Islands of Mystery. Whether the shores are the location of a hidden treasure or a new home of marooned survivors, the Pathfinder Flip Mat Bigger Island has you covered. With an area that's 45% larger, 45% larger than the standard flip mat, game masters can dream even bigger. Now, instead of sketching, you can devote more time to playing with Pathfinder Flip Mat Bigger Island. You'll be ready next time your players seek out or are stranded on unknown shores. Fully laid out, the bigger map, or the bigger island, measures 27 by 39 inches, but folds down to a convenient portable 8 by 10 inches for travel and storage. Its coated surface can handle dry erase, wet erase, or even permanent marker. Usable by experienced GMs or novices alike, Pathfinder Flip Mats fit perfectly into any game master's arsenal. So yeah, with the permanent marker, the way to basically erase that off is to just run like a dry erase marker over top of it, let it set for a few seconds, and then you should be able to wipe everything off here. Like I said, I just don't really have the space to play out the full map, but you can see the two styles of maps that you get here. So you get sort of like the sandy, more tropical, like lush foliage there on one map, and then the next one that you get is a bit more rocky, a bit more barren, but it also looks like it may be, previously inhabited. You've got some like not ladders, but you've got little bridges that connect some of the smaller islands. There's a natural bridge there. There's just a really nice amount of detail on these. So they're really, really fantastic stuff. And Paizo does an amazing job with these. These flip mats, I absolutely love them. I have a pretty decent collection that I'm starting up with these now. And they're great, really, just for inspiration. Like, I've actually planned several sort of impromptu game sessions just based off of looking at one of the maps that I have in my collection. So I absolutely love these. The fact that they are dry erase, or wet erase, or you can even use permanent marker on them to sort of note things, is also great. It's just a very solid product overall. And this is I'm actually running a Paizo published campaign back from when they were doing Dungeon Magazine, and these islands might come in handy for that campaign. So really, really fantastic stuff. You should definitely check it out at your local game store. Again, the US retail price for this is $19.99, and for the size of the map that it is, that's actually a pretty decent price. So that is the Pathfinder Flip Mat Bigger Island. Up next, we have the Pathfinder Fists of the Ruby Phoenix Pawn collection. So I haven't gotten to do a review of the Fist of the Ruby Phoenix adventure path yet. At this point in time, I only have the first installment. However, before we get into the holiday season, I do want to do sort of like a buyer's guide to the different adventure paths, sort of using the introductory chapter as sort of like a basis to go off of, because I may not have all of the adventure path installments, but I have, for second edition Pathfinder anyway, as far as I know, I've got at least the first chapter for every single one. So that is a video that I want to do at some point in the near future. Fist of the Ruby Phoenix is kind of interesting because the adventure is sort of framed around this like gladiatorial tournament, where the players are sort of one of the groups that are participating, and there's some other stuff going on as well. Like, I don't want to spoil too much here. But these pawn collections are absolutely fantastic. First of all, like, just Pathfinder pawns in general are great because they are a very affordable way to get a collection of minis that you can use for representation. These obviously aren't going to be like the plastic three-dimensional minis, but they still give you just a great amount of stuff to go off of and work with. And like I said, for someone that wants to have representation, physical representation on the tabletop to make things run a little bit smoother, pawns are an absolutely excellent way to get into it. This particular pawn set, like I said, it is focused on that particular adventure path, so that means it's going to include essentially all of the unique NPCs, as well as any of like the creatures that are introduced in the adventure path itself. It does say that there are over 170 creature pawns for you to utilize. It does not come with the bases. However, the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Bestiary 1 set is actually a box set which comes with a whole assortment of bases. And if you don't have that, or if you can't find that, I do believe they sell the bases separately for both the Pathfinder and Starfinder branded games. So the US retail price for this one is also $19.99. So for $20 US, you're getting 170 or more than 170 of these cardboard stand-ups that you can use for your RPG sessions. And again, if you're running Fist of the Ruby Phoenix, this is absolutely, again, fantastic for that. So we're just going to quickly sort of go through and you can get an idea of what we have here. If you want to take a closer look at what we've got here, you can always pause it, but we're going to go through this a little bit quickly. Like I said, what this is it's the NPCs, creatures, that would be introduced specifically in the adventure path, as well as perhaps a few others that may just be useful for you to have when you're running the adventure path. So there's all kinds of, again, just great stuff here. The attention to detail, like the artwork on these are great as well. Like I've always been impressed with the pawn collections. So we're just going to go through the different sheets here really quick. And the art is the same on the front and back. One thing I should point out, if you do have multiples of each creature, then what you'll see is they'll have a different color-coded indicator on the bottom. So, for example, for these guys, you've got like red, green, blue, purple. There are 4 different colors, so it does kind of repeat if they've got more than 4. But still, the fact of the matter is it can be really easy to keep track of which one is which. And I want to say the shades are a little bit different. Like this green, for example, is lighter shade than that green. And that blue is obviously lighter than that blue. So the shades are, like, you can still distinctly track which one is which is also great for if you're tracking their hit points, for example, like when I use these, what I'll do is I will indicate, like, next to the hit point totals, I'll just have a letter to indicate what color they are based on the indicator here. So it's a really great way, again, to keep track of everything. And they give you plenty of duplicates as well. It's absolutely fantastic. Okay, we get some larger creatures here. I love basically like the terror birds. Warhorse, stone golem, the tick swarm. Ugh, not a big fan of that. So again, there's just all kinds of great stuff in here. Super, super useful. And each adventure path that comes out will have their own dedicated pawn set. I do have several already, so I will have to do another video maybe showing off the different ones that we have there. But again, it's just some awesome stuff here. And here we're getting more into like the specific NPCs. So you have like the generic creatures at the front, then you've got some of the larger creatures, and then you get into your named NPCs. Just like some great stuff all around. So definitely worth checking out. And again, for $20 US, that is a fantastic price for this product. Definitely worth checking out, especially if you plan on running the Fists of the Ruby Phoenix adventure path. So great stuff there. All right, next we have the Pathfinder Flip Tiles Fortress Starter Set. So this is a product very similar to the Flip Mats that I'd shown with like the bigger island. But what these are is they are like a smaller set of just like cards that you can use and just sort of line them up together. But they're a bit more customizable. Now, with this being a starter set, what you have are fortress tiles that you can use to create a fortress design, but these are going to be sort of the more generic, tiles, because they're meant to sort of be the basis that you use to build your castles, your fortresses, your keeps, whatever it may be with. Now, later on, they do release expansions that are more sort of specifically themed. For example, I plan on doing a video for this separately, but I do happen to have it handy. So I've got, like, for example, a Starfinder expansion here with the city alien quarter. So again, you get like the standard, you get the standard starter sets, but then you get the more unique themed expansions after that, which is really, really cool. So on the back of this, it reads, "Storm the castle. Whether you're defending a stone keep or exploring a mysterious castle, fortresses and their sprawling walls can play iconic roles in any campaign. Next time your players are ready to challenge the ruler of an evil empire in their stronghold, you won't have to draw every wall and gate. Pathfinder Flip Tiles Fortress Starter Set provides beautifully illustrated, and I will attest to that, they are fantastic, 6-inch by 6-inch map tiles that can be used to construct a never-ending castle complex. Inside you'll find 42 richly crafted double-sided map tiles and 6 tab dividers to keep them organized. The starter set is only the first step. Flip tile expansion sets allow you to expand your fortress in size and scope with nearly endless variety, so stop your sketching and start your flipping today. The fortress set includes castle walls, battlements, stairwells, stronghold gates, watchtowers, and fortress interiors. The retail price for this is $34.99 US. So we'll just take a quick look here. Again, I'm not going to go through every single one, but what I will do is I will try to lay out just a simple, fortress design, just to give you an idea sort of how these things work. In the back, we have our dividers, and the dividers can actually be, or they actually have the same coating, so you can actually use dry erase or even permanent marker on them if you wish. So you can label them on the tabs, or you can even use the dividers for different things if you wanted to. So they're absolutely, again, they're great to have. It's great for organizing everything. One of these days, what I'll have to do is actually make a video showing me organizing these tiles. I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. So like I said, we got 48 tiles here. They are double-sided. So that gives us, 96 tiles altogether that we can choose from. So, like I said, they'll be double-sided. One side will usually be relatively generic and kind of featureless, while the other side will have a little bit more to it. So, for example, here we have sort of like an interior space. There's sort of like the just the corner of a wall going there, but on the other side, you've got sort of walls that you can use to create like the inside of the keep. So that's, again, really, really cool stuff. Like I said, we're just going to go through this kind of quickly. So you can see what we have. The outer walls as well, what I like about them is that they have like the grass tiles there as well. So if you have to scale the walls, you do have a space to sort of start your minis out on as well. I think that's a nice little detail there. I also like to have these ones that are just, blank generic that you can use sort of in the center of a keep as well. It's just, great stuff overall. So like I said, I'm not going to go through every single tile here in this video. I just want to give you sort of an idea of what we have here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away and I'm going to set up just a small, probably like 3x3, tile set just to show you sort of what you can do. Like I said, if you want to see every single tile represented in a video, let me know and I'll be more than happy to do that. So, like I said, what I'm going to do is just going to cut away for a few seconds, and I will be back with with just a small little sample of what you can do with these tiles. So just bear with me. All right, so this is just, like I said, a really quick, simple example of what you could do here. So this could be like just a small keep, and this is sort of like the battlements basically up top here. So you got like the stairs leading up, and then you've got the slits there for like the archers to sort of be at. There's little dividers there to help sort of section things off as well. It's just like, so that way if invaders do make their way over, you can sort of try to bottleneck them a little bit. So it's just, like I said, this is sort of a very simple, basic design, but there's all kinds of stuff that you can do with these tiles. Like, so this is just a very simple 3x3 grid, you know, that I just wanted to show a basic example of. And again, with the starter sets, you do sort of get the more foundational tiles that you can use. And there will be expansion sets that come out in the future that will have sort of more specific themes to them. So you may get a fortress expansion that has, like, you know, laboratories or, other sort of things along those lines. You might get one that has sort of like a training grounds for like outside of the keep. There's all kinds of different stuff that you could do with these, right? And Paizo is really good at keeping up and releasing expansions for their tile sets. So this is one, like I said, I'm looking very forward to seeing what else you can do with it. This is, again, just a minor example of what you can do with these tiles. So if you want to see the complete set of tiles, both sides, let me know, and I can certainly dedicate a separate video to that. But, like I said, and this is just sort of meant to be, like I said, a very sort of generic, or not generic, but it's supposed to be just, for me, this is a very quick way of just showing the kind of stuff that you can do with these tiles. So I absolutely love them. Like, before, the flip mats were one of my favorite accessories because of, you know, how creative you could be with them. But with the tile sets, you can actually have even more leeway because you can customize them. You can sort of lay them out however you want to make the to make whatever map that you want to. And what's also great about these is if you have a smaller play area, like for example, I wasn't really able to lay out a full, especially like a large-sized flip mat, and be able to get it all on camera. But with these tiles, I can, and if you have even a smaller space than that, then essentially what you can do is just sort of build sort of like the areas that the players might be in when the encounters happen, without having to have like the entire map laid out in front of you. Each tile also has an identifying number. So for example, this one here is 31A, and then we've got we have 20A, 30A, so you can also keep track of what the number is of the individual cards that you're using. And you could even sort of lay the orientation out so you know exactly how to do them when the time comes. Just fantastic stuff. Absolutely love them. Definitely check these out, because these flip tile sets are amazing. So that was the Pathfinder Fortress Starter Set. And finally, for today's video, we're going to take a quick look at the Pathfinder Bestiary 3 battle cards. So this is the fourth set of battle cards that I featured in a video, starting with the Bestiary 1 and 2, obviously, but there was also the NPC battle card, like the NPC deck, with all the new NPCs that were introduced in the Game Mastery Guide. These products are absolutely fantastic, and I've done monster card reviews in the past for other games, and the Pathfinder ones are by far the best ones that I have ever seen. So a lot of the things that I had annoyances with when it came to some other companies, I think, you know, Paizo obviously was aware of that, and they decided to make sure that that wasn't an issue with their products. So this is, like I said, this is a fantastic set. There's over 400 cards in here, and they represent every single creature from the Pathfinder Bestiary 3. So these things are, again, amazing. When the time comes and I start running games in public again, just to cut down on the amount of stuff that I have to take with me. These cards are what I'm going to take when I go to run games. Like instead of like lugging the books, this is the way that I'm going to go with the creatures. So you get over 400 cards, and the cards are really decently sized, and I'll show that in a second here. The retail price for this is $59.99, so it's one of the more expensive accessories that you can get. But man, is it worth it as far as the quality and the convenience is concerned. Like I said, I'm not going to go through and show every single card in this video. However, if you want to see me do that, if you want a video where I go through and show every single card, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to do that as its own separate video. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to slide this open. And I've got a couple of cards already sort of laid out or set out, just to show you some examples of what you can expect with these. Now, in the previous sets, the card bundles inside have always been wrapped in plastic. However, just to sort of cut down on the amount of plastic that we are throwing out, they've actually just put these like paper bands around them, and I kind of appreciate that a little bit more. Less waste when you are unboxing everything. Again, just, you know, and it's just a great a great way of doing it. So I like seeing that. So like I said, I just got a few cards here that I'm going to show off the top, but you can see like the size of these cards is, you know, pretty massive. Like here's the box for the, you know, the flip tiles, and you can see like the cards are definitely not messing around. So that's also really good. The print on them is really easy to make out. You know, so it's not a situation where you're going to where you're going to have to deal too much with eye strain. You know, I think they did a really great job with them. So the way that these cards are formatted is on the backs. What you'll have is the artwork for the creatures, and it will take the artwork from the actual Bestiary 3. However, in the past, if you've had things, especially if you have dragons with multiple age categories, what they'll actually do is have unique art for each age category, and if there's something in the book that they don't have artwork for, then they will produce artwork for the purposes of this product. So again, that's one of those things. You're never going to see like just a generic placeholder logo on the back. You know, when it says that you have art that you can show, it really does mean it. I just took these two out because these are my favorite creatures from the Bestiary 3, which are the Tooth Fairies. So here we have just the regular Tooth Fairy, and you can see it gives all of its sort of, you know, keywords there. And then it just has the stat block essentially lifted straight from the Bestiary. So you've got like its perception, languages, skills, attributes. Now attributes are shown simply with the modifiers and not the actual like attribute score that would go with it. And just a nice streamlined approach. The books are the same way. Armor class, their saving throws, hit points, weaknesses. And then we've got the plaque burst ability, so like their special abilities, movement, and then their attacks and sort of special abilities there. Just, again, really great stuff, and I just can't get over how much I love the Tooth Fairy. But the Swarm, the Tooth Fairy Swarm is where it's all at. And like I said, it's basically like I said, the exact same thing, but you got the different art on there. Now, one of the great things about the way that Pathfinder or Paizo does these cards is you sometimes will have creatures whose stat blocks are simply just too large to fit on a single card. Now, with other games in the past or other role-playing games, I'm not going to mention any names here, but they've either omitted those cards completely from their sets, or they had to create a specialized set with a whole new size of card to accommodate everything. Paizo, number one, they have like nice large size cards to begin with, but if a creature stat block won't fit on a single card, then what we'll have here, so for example, we've got this, I'm not even going to try to say the name there, but one of the things, the Bestiary 3 had a lot of creatures from mythology and folklore. So this is like sort of based on like the Japanese urban legend of like the woman who will, you know, ask you if you think she's beautiful. And, you know, no matter what you answer, it's going to be bad, but it's a cool urban legend. I really like it, and the fact that we have the creature here is awesome, but the creature stats won't fit on a single card. So What it says here is continued on card number 202, and each card is numbered so it can make organizing them super easy. Like, they are organized alphabetically, but you've also got the card number there, which really helps. So on the next card, what you'll have is on card 202, it will say continued from card number 201, and it just gives you the rest of their stat block. So that's something I completely and totally respect and I appreciate, and I think they did really well with that. Like, I think that's definitely the way to do it. I would rather have 2 cards for a more complex creature than either not have them at all or have them stripped down to the point where I basically still need the book anyway. And that's one of the things that Paizo has done really well with their accessories. So they understand what people like, what people get frustrated by, and they are not afraid to do what they need to do to make sure that that's not going to be an issue there. So, like I said, if you want to see me go through every single card, let me know, but I just wanted to give you an idea of the format and to just let you know again that this does contain every single creature from the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Bestiary 3. So that was my look at some of the newer accessories to come out for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this format. If you want me to go back to just doing individual videos for each product, let me know that in the comments below as well. I just want to try to keep things from getting a little bit too stale because honestly, with a lot of these, I've done the videos for them in the past, and I've kind of said everything that I can think of to say about them, but I still want to, let you know that the newer products are out. So I kind of like this format, but if you want to see me go back to individual videos, then let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you guys. It's whatever you want. And if, like I said, if you want to see every single card in the starter set for the Fortress flip tiles, as well as the Bestiary 3 battle deck, let me know that as well, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you. So once again, I want to thank Paizo for sending these products out. They're top-notch, high quality. I mean, just the amount of attention to detail, just the amount of effort that goes into these and the quality behind them never ceases to impress me. At this point in time, honestly, Paizo is probably my favorite company for gaming accessories because they do an amazing job. So I want to thank them again for sending these products to me for the purposes of making this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite accessories that you've picked up recently. And if you have things like the battle cards, like the Bestiary battle cards, when you're running your games, do you tend to use those, or do you still have the book at your table? Just let me know in the comments below. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take care.